All right, so this is part 2 of operations and polynomials. We learned adding and subtracting. Now we're going to be doing multiplying. So you guys need to be really good at distributing and also at FOIL. I'm going to show you a box method, which is my favorite method. But let me just start going through examples because that is the best way to learn this. All right, so we can distribute that negative 4x to the third power to everything inside of the parentheses. So the first thing would be negative 4x cubed times x squared. So remember, when you're multiplying the same base, you add the exponents. So this first term would be negative 4x to the fifth power because it's 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, for the next one, we've got a negative 4 and a positive 3, so that's going to be negative 12, and then x to the third power and x. Since there's an invisible 1 here, we would do 3 plus 1, so this would be x to the fourth power. All right, and then last, we've got a negative 4 times a negative 4 here, so that's going to become a positive 16. Since there's no x here, we just bring the x cube along. And we always want to write it in standard form, which would be the highest degree to the lowest degree. So 5, 4, 3. So this would be your answer. And that would be multiplying a monomial times a trinomial. Okay, now let's try a binomial times a binomial. So there's 2 ways to do this, using FOIL and then using the box method. I'm going to show you both methods. So method 1 would be FOIL. Okay, so FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. So that would be, if I were to write this, let me show you guys first. Hold on 1 second. Okay, first, outer, inner, last. So we would take this, and I'm going to write it. You do not normally have to write this 4 times. I'm just going to use highlighter and show you the different parts. So again, if you're doing this, you wouldn't be doing all this. Okay, so first would be the first part of each parentheses, and you would multiply those together. So x times x is x squared. And then outer is the outside parts of your entire problem. So see how this is the outer of the entire problem, x times 8. So this would be 8x. And then your inner would be the inside of your entire problem. So if you look at it as an entire problem, these are the 2 inside things. Okay, so 5 times x is 5x. And then last would be the last thing of each parentheses. So that would be 5 times 8. Okay, so first is the first thing in each parentheses. Outer is the outside of the entire problem. Inner is the inside of the entire problem. And last is the last thing in each parentheses. So then you would have this as your answer right here, but you do need to combine these 2 together since those are both x's. So your answer here would be x squared right there. And then 8x plus 5x is 13x, and then plus 40. So if you FOIL this problem, that's what you get. And that's method 1. Method 2 is the box method. This is my absolute favorite thing, is the box method. So it's a binomial times a binomial, so I'm just making a 4 by 4. And what I would do is put the first part of the problem, x plus 5, on top or bottom, doesn't matter. So x and then a positive 5. And then over here is x and then a positive 8. If it's like a negative 8, you would just put a negative in front of it. And then we multiply those two things like we did with rational and irrational. So x times x is x squared. X times 8 is 8x. And then x times 5 is 5x. And 5 times 8 is 40. So this is our box. And then you would see that these two right here can be combined together. So this would be x squared plus 13x plus 40. Again, same problem, same answer, just a different way of doing it. So you've got FOIL here, and then you have the box method. I'm going to do one more. I hope I have time for it. Okay, so this one I'm going to do the box method for, and you see it's a binomial times a trinomial. So we want to make this a little bigger for our trinomial on top and then our binomial on the side. So we've got 3x and then plus 4. Here we've got x squared plus 2x and then minus 1. So I put the whole problem on there with the positives and negatives so that you don't get confused. Okay, so we're going to multiply like we did up here. 3x times x squared is 3x cubed because a 1 plus a 2. Then 3x times 2x, that's going to be 6x squared because the x is 1 and 1. And then 3x times negative 1 is just going to be negative 3x. Here, now we're going to the 4. 4 times x squared is just 4x squared. And then 4 times 2x is 8x. And 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So we're going to want to combine everything that can be combined. So you can see we have an x squared, those should be combined. And then the x's should be combined. So this is going to be 3x cubed. Then our x squareds become 10x squared. Our x's become 5x and then minus 4. Again, checking that it's in degree order. So 3, 2, 1, none. This is our final answer.